time, just with a couple friends. Yeah, we falling. Yeah, we vibing. Yeah, we just straight riding. Me and my best friends. Yeah, we diving from the top of a ramp. See you later, my guy. See you later, my guy.
What's going on, everybody?
How's it
Is
going, man?
a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it is a Friday, Feel Good Friday, the 23rd of May, 2025, as we head into a Memorial Day weekend. And before we have all the festivities, honor those who fought for us and sacrificed their lives in the United States military, but also enjoy this life for what it is. I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X and Twitter at ProdCobblePod. We're on TikTok at Productive Conversations, and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, we'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, Magic Mind, the ultimate elixir company, to enhance our mental clarity, improve our focus, and help us live our best life. Go to magicmind.com/PCMAY. That's PCMAY for 48% off your first subscription or 20% off your first one-time purchase. And joining me, Ryan, Allison, and Jose to kick off this Memorial Day weekend. How are you?
Feeling good, feeling good. Who am I holding back in that picture, Jose? What's happening there?
It's the whole thing with Denzel Washington, the press.
Yes, which you'll find out a little bit later, so no spoilers
Yeah,
there.
no spoiler. I didn't catch that one.
Oh, you will. Trust us. But it's good to see everybody. As we're about to head into a big Memorial Day, anyone doing anything special for your Memorial Day weekend?
Not much. Have a couple of local things that we're doing. Just me. My wife is out of town. Girls trip. So,
Party at Ryan's.
eh?
I know.
Unfortunately,
good.
it's still the apartment for now. But yeah.
Well, you can play some guitar. All right. And Jose and
Yeah.
Allison, you guys up to anything crazy?
I have a date this weekend.
Ooh.
Go team.
All right. Well,
Pray for
hopefully
me.
you guys get married, and this will be great for the wedding video.
That'd be nice.
I was mortified.
Matt never stops working. He's always thinking about the content.
Right.
Mhm.
All the future. So that's perfect.
For real, though, for real. But yeah, and I'll just be enjoying the festivities of this beautiful world of ours. All right. So, where do we start off after a crazy week in the world of sports news, entertainment, and culture? And also available at the end of this evening, this Friday, there's a game 2 Knicks and Pacers reaction that'll be available at the end of today by the time you're hearing this recording. But or it's available now, and hopefully it's a lot different than it was in game 1. So we'll go from there. But we do have a sports story to discuss and to kick off this show. And I'm very excited to show off this legend in the making, specifically the world of softball. Have you guys heard of Bri Ellis?
Bri Ellis. No. What team does she play for?
She plays for
Goddamn,
Arkansas.
Matt, who watches softball here?
My
Well-
sister was a softball,
I played
college
softball.
softball.
It was a
college.
softball.
What?
Who watches soft? Did you
I
watch your
played
sister
in
play?
college.
Did you?
I did. I played softball in college down in Kansas. Yes.
In Kansas?
I
Were you
did.
at the Kansas? Were you a
No,
Jayhawk?
I went to an NAIA Division 1. So not
Okay.
NCAA Division 1, but it's like
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
My sister
you
was
know
Division
what?
3.
This is literally the Caitlin Clark of softball, and you will start watching softball after this. Let us find out who Bri Ellis is from the University of Arkansas, literally the Babe Ruth of college softball right now. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. We have a clip here from John Boy Media, and a little lengthy, but you will see how legendary Bri Ellis is after this one clip.
The best hitter in softball history, Bri Ellis, playing for Arkansas. She
Yeah, go
leads
Bri.
in everything.
That's my favorite
She leads
softball
in
player.
homers in D1. It's the best season ever, basically.
But if anyone wants to see this year alone, leading the SEC, a 487 batting average, just under half.
That's crazy.
And
It's
then
nuts.
the SEC, that's actually insane because usually Alabama.
I was gonna say, is SEC dominant in this as well as they are in like some
they're
other sports?
dominant in
They are,
everything.
yes, they
Literally
are.
Oh, yeah. I
everything.
mean, yeah, they're always usually
But
pretty
They're
good.
good at
usually,
the
like
fencing.
all
They're
the
good in fencing.
finals, yeah, like
But, yeah, a 487 batting average, 25 home runs, a slugging percentage of 1.221, and a 659 on base percentage. Insane. So here's what we are playing with. Watch more of this legend. Go Bri Ellis.
In softball history. And in the SEC tournament, second round game against Georgia, they
If
want
I could get
no
a Bri Ellis jersey,
part
I'm
of
getting
her.
that.
Ball
Probably could.
1, ball 2, ball 3, 3-0
walking her.
pitch. What are you going to do? Ball 4, there's 2 outs. Just let her get first base and deal with the next hitter.
Yeah, sure.
No need to worry about Bri Ellis. Okay, bottom 4th. Look what the catcher just did.
It just moved out
I'll
of the
just
box
get
again.
over here. Don't
Yeah.
miss your spot at all. 5th pitch she sees is a ball. 6th pitch she sees is a ball. 7th pitch she sees is a ball. 8th pitch, ball. Other batter's box. No part of her. Wants nothing to do with her. And she's like, all right, fine. I trust my teammates. Bottom of the 6th inning, no outs. Runner on first. Tie game. Are you going to
Still
pitch to her
Walker?
now? Maybe. She's gearing up. She thinks so. Come inside. Oh, hits her in the arm. So the 9th pitch she sees. Ball. Well, hit by pitch. Nothing in the strike. Ooh. Oh, no. You okay? No, it hurts really bad. Now she comes up, bottom of the 7th, tie game, bases are loaded. A walk would lose the game. They have
gotta
to
pitch
throw
it to her.
strikes. That fan is nervous. You go, oh, okay, but come on, we believe in you. But you got to throw strikes, otherwise you lose. What a predicament. Ball. 10 pitches faced. 10 out of the strike zone. Hasn't swung the bat yet. Hasn't seen a strike yet. First strike she sees, swings the bat, hits a walk-off grand slam. Now it starts to make sense. That's why we weren't pitching to her before.
Yeah.
Just like that. The tongue's out, the hands up, the eyes are big. She's excited. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bam! Yup. Easy as that. Arkansas wins SEC tournament. They're in bracket play. What'd she say? She says, like, that's why you don't fucking walk me or whatever. I don't know. She's fired up. I did a video like 2 years ago where she got hit by a pitch, then homered and called the pitcher a bitch. She's fiery and she's really, really, really good.
That's wild.
that's funny. That's
Jeez,
so funny.
right? Jeez. What could
What
I
does
say,
she play
huh?
when she's not hitting? Like, what is her field position? Is she a
She gives
outfielder?
she gives me corner vibes or pitcher vibes. What is she? She's not a pitcher though. She's too.
She's not a pitcher. I don't think she's. I'd be shocked if she was a pitcher. I don't think she's a pitcher.
No, that would be my. But she has to play a corner. Matt, what does she play?
Oh no, but I will look that up. But guys, the legend of Bri Ellis. How about that?
I get the only thing that stinks is this is unfortunately where the legend ends. I don't know how old she is, but if he did a video with her a couple years ago, that means she's got to be approaching her senior year, and there is nothing akin to professional softball.
Olympic team, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
there's
I
the
know,
Olympics.
but yeah, but like that's
She'll
every.
probably go to WWE or something.
I mean, I don't know that doesn't feel like an instant jump to me. Like I was a really good.
I'm sure a
softball player.
I'm sure a lot of other athletes who became WWE
Oh yeah,
stars, like
no.
all the football players, but
Well, that makes a
who
little more
knows?
sense though with the
Yeah,
physical
but-
contact.
By the way,
How
it
many
says here
people-
it says here she's an infielder.
probably a corner.
Okay, yeah, probably. I was gonna say she's probably third.
Oh, yeah, she looks like first baseman, I think.
Yeah, could be.
But the thing is, though, this is a Babe Ruth leveled softball player.
Oh,
That's cool.
Jesus.
I mean, it's cool. Like I said, it's cool, but it ends next year when there's nowhere for her to go, which is why it stinks for these girls who get super good at this game and then it's done. Guys who are
Maybe
about a
she's
quarter as
different.
good at their game. Well, I mean, she
What do
can't be
you mean?
different.
What do you
There's
mean
no
she's
league. What
Getting
different?
to
league
the
is she gonna play
Olympics
in?
isn't easy. Like it's not
Yeah.
easy at all, even if you are good. You know what
Well,
I mean?
no, but like obviously Babe Ruth of softball will make the Olympic team, right? But so that's 2028, right? They have that 2028 because that's a summer game,
I
right?
think so.
Um, so it's like, okay, they'll do. She'll get the one time, and then that's it. I don't know, just stinks. Which obviously, again, people don't want to watch softball. People don't want to watch softball, which was Jose's point earlier. But yeah, it does
Hmm.
stink to have gotten yourself to that high of a level, right? Babe Ruth level, as Matt has said, and then have nothing like I don't want to say nothing to show for it because she had 4 years at a high level in college, but like again, guys who are about half as good at their sport as she is at her sport are about to become generationally wealthy, but she is not, and that kind of stinks. But such is life. Maybe somebody will do a women's softball league. I don't know. With baseball has had such struggles. I don't know that women's softball would take
I
off,
mean,
but
softball already got like softball had been cut out of the Olympics when I was like in middle school, high school, and then they brought it
Mhm.
back. So it's
No,
like,
yeah. I don't know if there's a market for it, but maybe with the rise of the whole Caitlin Clark thing, maybe there someone seeing dollar signs the way Matt is on this Bri Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
which is a shame because like I love, don't get me wrong, I love baseball, but softball, like the infield's smaller, it's just quicker pace, everything's just like closer. It's just way more fast paced, and I don't know. It's just there's something
It
about
is
it.
faster. I will
It's
say
very,
someone.
very fast, and it's
Yeah.
unreal. The girls
I didn't say very very fast. I said faster than baseball. In terms of like the
pretty
play of
quick.
game.
Did you ever watch that? It was like a sports center um analyzing the difference between baseball and softball because they were trying to
Hmm.
see which one was like classified as harder because everyone thinks baseball is harder because it's like faster pitching and stuff like that. So they were like trying to
All right.
explain like the differential of like the infield, how fast you have to react, like when it comes to slap hitting, like slap hitting in softball is a thing, it's not a thing in baseball. Um, there's just so many different factors, but I do wish there was a bigger market for it. Because even growing up playing, like I think it was bigger, but now it's like definitely declined, which sucks.
You know what I liked when I would go watch my sister? It would be like a kind of a quick thing. You know what I mean? She was a pitcher too, so I didn't even have to pay attention to the batting. It would just be like you could go just boom boom like they what like you said the style of play in terms or the pace of play was faster. I don't know again I don't like the pitching wasn't faster and the hitting
And it's
wasn't
only
faster but
seven
like
innings,
just
baseball's
yeah
nine too.
exactly.
So
So no, I definitely liked the the quick pace of a softball game as someone who was spectating. But we'll see. But what if this is the end of the road for Bri Ellis? At least she always has a walk-off grand slam after they were afraid to pitch to her for 6 whole innings.
against Georgia too, which is
Yeah.
insane. So
Do the
See, well, you
Georgia
know what?
ladies do the DUIs as well, or is that just the football team?
do the what? I'm sorry.
I'm curious. The frequent DUIs in the offseason, or is that just the football team?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm a roll tide girl, so Georgia, I just hate
Okay.
them.
Well, guess what? She's gonna stand the test of time. You will hear more about Bri Ellis,
Oof,
and
this
just
is a
watch.
bold claim.
Just watch. So good job, Bri Ellis. Keep up the great work. All right. So the next thing, who remembers the band the All American Rejects?
I love them. I love them.
I do.
Jose.
Uh, Matt,
There's like,
I get laid at that time, so no, I do not know them.
All right.
And
The
it,
2000s band, the All American Rejects, right? You know, they definitely definitely hit their peak like in 2005.
yeah.
Well, name some of them songs.
Gives
Move
You
along.
Hell, Dirty Little Secret,
Dirty little
Yeah.
Dance
secret.
Inside, Straight
It
Jacket
ends tonight.
Feeling, It Ends Tonight.
Gives You
Uh,
Hell, all of that, right? See,
Yep.
good enough to get millennials to
I had all their
Go
in
off
shit
the
their
from
ribs.
that.
So do you know where I'm going with this?
I
They
do, yeah.
suck.
No,
No.
with their
Well, hear this. They're on
pop-up
a
thing.
So they're on tour again, but a different tour, specifically a house party tour.
It's so
The All
cool.
American Rejects are touring in the coolest way possible, according to Spin Magazine. From a couple of college house parties in Missouri and Wisconsin to a Minneapolis bowling alley, a barn in Iowa, and a house party in Chicago. They're making us all jealous every stop they have. And guess what? You could actually RSVP
Yeah.
and book them yourself if you want them to go to your house. So we have here
So
the
Girl, I heard Ryan's apartment's kind of free this weekend, so let's book it.
see right here. There you go. Look at this.
Your
And I
wife
believe
is
it's for
on
free.
TikTok.
Yeah,
So-
no, that's the thing that's crazy about this. This is basically just them trying to go viral, I think, because they're not like charging anything.
Well, it's working. Let's see some of the examples right here.
I wake up every evening with a big smile on my face, and it never feels out of place. You're still probably working at a 9-to-5 pace. What a real bad taste, officer. When you see my face, someone gives you hell. What my way gives you hell, it gives you hell. Where's your picket fence now? Where's that shiny car?
Let's see some more. Look at you guys bouncing around. Him at the bowling alley.
This is unhinged.
Someone's backyard.
Now this is a banger song.
They got a noise complaint from the police. All right, so you guys get the gist. So
Yeah.
let's be real. Do you think they genuinely want this, or are they a washed-up band who hit their peak 20 years ago, and this is a good way for them to come back into the mainstream?
That is a really hard question, Matt.
I think it's
Because-
so cool.
Because that's the thing is, I don't know why they're doing it, but it's cool that they're doing it,
Let me
right?
ask you, would I don't know, like,
Like, the concept
Chapel
is so
Roan do this?
cool.
No, she would never do this. But my thing is like, do I think that they can't book like an arena or a theater? No, of course they can. Right? Like, let's be honest.
Well,
of
I don't
course
know.
they
Maybe
can.
now they can, but maybe before this tour.
No.
No, they would not get. You would not last year get them to fill out Madison Square Garden.
No, I didn't say. But I didn't say Madison Square
Garden.
Garden. I said
Well, that's
a
still
theater.
an arena tour.
I said a theater that you
A
couldn't like, get them to a
2,000 seat
theater.
arena theater.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
what I mean.
Max.
But, so again, you get paid though to do that, Matt, and you don't get paid to do the house party. That's what I mean. Like, I don't believe they're so kind of in the back that they couldn't perform for money. So the fact that they're not performing for money is interesting. But I almost think it's they got bored.
I don't know,
I
Jose.
really
Do you
do.
think they're just washed and this was the only way to get relevant again?
I mean, it did help them get relevant. That's true.
Yeah, they're washed, and they're only doing it for free food and lodging. That's it.
No, they're not doing. That's what I'm saying. They're not doing it for lodging. That's what I mean. Like, it's a super weird thing. Like, it's genuinely. If I thought they could not make money any other way, then I would agree with you. But I'm sorry. I worked at the Ridgefield Playhouse, which is not a big venue, right? I have seen some acts that literally I have never heard of in my entire life. I have seen them fill the Ridgefield Playhouse.
Oh, the Ridgefield Playhouse.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no, but seriously, like, I know you're being a jackass, but listen to me. The Ridgefield Playhouse costs like $50-$60 a ticket.
Listen,
So
you're talking about a band that done stadiums and
yeah,
arenas, and you're talking about a fucking Richfield Playhouse.
dude,
That
Kansas
thing,
came. Kansas was there,
Oh,
dude.
good. So I got my
The
great
Beach
uncle getting in the
Boys.
front row. Oh,
No,
even
I'm
better.
saying, like that.
I can get my 75-year-old uncle in.
You guys are actually,
Wouldn't
I
it
gotta be
be
honest,
nice
y'all are
if we
insane.
were
You guys
older?
are crazy. The Beach Boys halfway invented rock and roll music, so just relax.
Yeah,
over
60
there. Sit
years
down.
ago.
That's fine. Sit over there. My point is, they could get paid to do a show still. I know this because I've seen people who were never as popular as them get paid to do a show. That was the moral of my story. I wasn't here vouching for how great the fucking Beach Boys or Kansas are. My point is that people paid, they filled the house to see Kevin Bacon sing. Not even a fucking singer. And they paid to see Kevin Bacon sing.
I'd rather see Kevin Bacon, to be honest with you.
They go see Kevin Bacon. He does the Richfield Playhouse every year.
Bacon?
My point is, people paid $100-something to go sit and watch Kevin Bacon and his brother play guitar. You're telling me that they can't get freaking you're saying that building couldn't get people to come see the freaking, what's it called? The All American Rejects. That's insane. It's an insane take. That's almost as insane as yesterday's Jose's music takes. The only difference is Matt's on it too. So I think that since they could be getting paid and they're not getting paid,
I would pay $100 to see them.
I would
Are
pay
you
100.
serious,
but-
Allison?
I would.
Waste your money?
That'd be so
60
fun.
bucks though? $60, I'd go.
You might as well pay 100 if you're gonna pay 60.
No, there's the difference between 100 and 60.
I don't think
there's a whole extra integer different.
I guess I'm gonna see
60.
Allison at the Richfield Playhouse, I guess.
How
Well,
are you gonna put that
apparently
in?
not, because all you got to do is find the local house party they're
I gotta go
going
back to Wisconsin for it. Maybe they'll be there in July when I go.
Maybe they don't need the money. Maybe they're just doing it for the hell of it.
I think that's what I was saying. We're just
fun.
Jose just agreed with me, but he yelled at me first. Yes, I think they're just doing it for fun.
Yeah,
Again.
Listen, if my band went from Madison Square Garden to the fucking Richfield Playhouse, I think it's time to fucking
Yeah, right.
Yes, I agree. At that point, you might as well do house parties, because either way, you're done.
least they're
That's
fun,
essentially
I'm
the
getting free
American
food.
Rejects, though.
Yeah.
But no, I do think that they just are kind of bored, and this is a fun thing for them to do.
I think it's just to get viral too. Just let's be honest.
It is
viral.
going to go
Like, it
viral
gets-
like every time, which is
Right.
important.
All over my TikTok. It's crazy.
Right.
And also,
so, I mean,
think about it. If they did do like a regular theater, right? And again, I agree with Matt. It would not be even an arena. It'd probably be a theater. That might be bigger than the Ridgefield Playhouse theaters, but not by a lot. You know what I mean? So like, I think you do a theater, you're gonna get me and Allison paying our $60 to $100, and people a little bit older than us too. If you go to these house parties, everybody's hammered. You're gonna get some of those people, but you're also gonna get younger people who are not like the demographic of the All American Reject currently, but everyone, like, they know who they are. They were very famous. So you have this famous rock band that's kind of like, where'd they come from? Who knows? Showing up at your house party. Now you got new fans that are listening to your whole catalog all night. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a good way to reach younger people too, without then, and none of the young people be like, well, you guys are just old, right? Because none of the old fans are there. You know what I mean? Like, there's no 40-year-old there being like, oh, this is great. It's just only college kids. And so no one is feeling like this is lame because all their friends are literally there too. So I don't know. I think it's smart from that perspective. I doubt it materializes into anything. I'm not like, oh, the comeback's here. I think that this is just a fun thing they're doing. But we should sponsor one. Put us to conversations. Features All American Rejects.
That would be so fun.
We just got to find a spot.
I'll send the emails.
Send the email.
You never know. You never know. All right. So our next story, right? I am just going to show an awesome thing from one of the greatest people to ever live. We have a Conan O'Brien, another viral moment for Conan O'Brien. Even though this is a stupid idea, but they're doing it anyways, doing a Toy Story 5. And, well, Conan was cast in Toy Story 5. So here's his quick casting here's his quick casting announcement.
Hey, Conan O'Brien here. I've got big news. I'm going to be in Toy Story 5. Isn't that crazy? Legendary franchise. These films are amazing. I can't believe this. Initially, I wanted the role of Woody. And they told me that they already promised that to Tom Hanks. And I was like, you kind of been there, done that. You know, a bit of a rut, don't you think? And they said, no, it's Tom Hanks, it's his role. So I said, okay, how about Buzz Lightyear? And they were like, and I said, let me guess, Tim Allen. They're like, yeah, Tim Allen. And I went, guys, you got to think outside the box. But anyway, then they showed me this new character, Smarty Pants. It's the best character of them all. I far prefer this character. I don't even want to play Woody or Buzz anymore. Even if they beg me. I'm Smarty Pants. I love this. Toy Story 5. It's coming out. When's it coming out?
June 19th, 2026.
June 19th, 2026. I can't wait that long. I can wait, but it's going to be good. Yeah. My hair looks insane.
Sorry.
Hey.
Any
Is he
chance
gonna
to
be the
show up
villain?
on-
Is he gonna be the
I don't
villain
know.
in the
Whoever
new
Smarty
Toy
Pants
Story?
is.
If he's
Oh,
the
look it
villain,
up.
that'll be really funny. Also, so that comment, is he sunburnt from the lights
Yeah, that
inside?
was funny.
Hilarious.
Not
All right.
even I get that read.
So we got the Cannes Film Festival taking place right now. A great day for us cinephiles who actually care about this stuff. You'll see what Denzel got viral for it there, but I love the Cannes Film Festival from afar. I hope to attend it one day. But we had Pedro Pascal debut a movie with Dakota Johnson and Chris Evans, I believe. And I believe that's the one, or that's the one that's coming out now.
I saw he did something with Joaquin Phoenix. There was
Yeah,
a
that could
clip.
be it too. I think that could be it too. He is in every movie, if it seems. And we got Fantastic Four as well coming up. But so this movie that came out for specifically the Cannes Film Festival was Eddington, which was Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal. It's an Ari Aster film, in fact. I love Ari Aster films. So I will definitely be seeing that when it drops in theaters in July. But somebody made this video of him at the Cannes Film Festival. I'll let it speak for itself. All right, here we go. Pedro Pascal.
This man stalked me for the whole day. I was on my way to Cannes 2025, and before I even made it to the plane, that's when it started. On the queue, he wouldn't stop staring at me. And I swear, this man set out on a mission. The first red flag, I boarded my flight, and guess who's sitting just across from me?
What?
Eyes on me.
Is that him then, Coach? What?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it is. Maybe it is.
No, I'm just saying maybe
He was
West
trying to act
Coast.
casual, but I saw the side eye.
Yeah, because Ryan, this right here is first class.
No, I said maybe. He said maybe, as in maybe he flies.
Oh my God, you're so funny sometimes. Jose, does this give you first class vibes like Ryan is guessing for the benefit of the doubt?
This is insanity. This is literally not what I'm saying. I said maybe he flies first class.
This is not first class.
Not first class.
It's already the start of the vote.
I was saying, maybe he flies coach. That's what I was saying.
That's
that is clearly coach.
I didn't hear you, Jose. What did you say? Hello?
I said that's definitely not first class. I take first
coach.
class. And that's not
See,
first
Jose
class.
takes first class.
He was trying to
Like I
act
said.
casual, but I saw the side eye. At 9:55, he got up to stretch his legs. Sure, so he says. And things really got out of hand when we landed. He pretended to forget his phone on the plane just so that he could be in the same shuttle bus as I was. So I went as fast as I could to border control and tried to make my way through to see if I could lose him. But he didn't care, he just cut the line and made his way through it. And at this point I'm thinking, this can't be real. But it was finally time for me to do what I came here to do. I was going to a premiere. And before I even noticed, he snuck into the premiere. And Cannes is strict. They don't let anyone in. But somehow, this guy just walks straight in. Now I'm stuck at this event, and I turn around, and everywhere I look, there he is. And honestly, I don't know what else to do.
That's it. That's the video.
Does he actually know him, or just happen to be on a flight and made this video?
I don't know. I haven't confirmed or denied that, but
Because that's kind of
Is he-
wild.
at least
Imagine
he's
how lucky you
connected.
get. How lucky you get. You're just a random influencer who gets on the same flight as him, and now you've got an entire, like, you got a whole clip that you can make out of it. That's probably doing numbers right now, if I had to guess.
yeah, the guy's named Lucas Pelizzaro, and that's
Yeah,
all
never
I
heard of
got
him.
from him. That was the count. So maybe he's an influencer. Maybe he's just He must be some producer.
He's
for
got to
some
be
con
involved,
film.
right? Because he's in the. He's
I
got to be
think-
somewhat involved.
Yeah, I think it was just a guy who just happened to catch him on the flight.
I think so too.
And like
which is
the
kinda
idea,
funny.
that like, oh, he's not on a private jet now for his class, stuff like that. See, a nice humble person, Pedro Pascal.
I like the idea that he was following him. That just, to me, it was kind of a funny little.
I do like. I think he's awesome, and he's back in Last of Us as well. All right. So the other story, right, from the Cannes Film Festival that went viral, Denzel Washington, the two-time Academy Award winner, one of the greatest actors of all time. He even got a special Palme d'Or, which is the ultimate honor at Cannes, and they gave him one, right? So he's there to premiere the new Spike Lee movie that is coming out, Highest to Lowest. That's gonna be lit. A remix of the Akira Kurosawa High and Low. Did I say remix? A remake. So yeah, a remake of an English version of that. So again, if you're a big cinephile, you love that. And it's Spike Lee's first Spike Lee joint in 5 years.
Huh.
So pretty cool stuff. That'll come out later in the summer to the masses, but it premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, apparently with rave reviews. But it's the return of Spike Lee and Denzel Washington. This is their 5th film together. First one since 2006, Inside Man. Great film. And yeah, so as Denzel's just chilling being Denzel, well, there was a photographer in the French press that was a little too handsy, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Look at
Denzel Washington est toujours avec nous.
this.
Il a réalisé 4 longs métrages. Je vous ai parlé d'Anton Fisher. Il y a eu aussi The Pretty Inventors, Fences, et plus récemment.
So those who are listening, so it looks like this Cannes Film Festival was touching him. He told him, "Don't touch me," pushed around, intimidated him, and then walked away. Again, some people need to use their head. Don't touch
Yeah,
famous
why are you
people.
grabbing at people?
He grabbed
yeah.
him again.
I'll actually amend that, Matt. Don't grab people. That's weird. All people, just don't grab anybody. It's weird to do that. Whether you know them, whether you don't know them, just be like, I mean, I guess if you know them, it's fine. But like to grab somebody, on the street even would be weird. And yeah, obviously if it's Denzel, definitely don't do that. But it's like, yeah, why are you grabbing him? He'll look at you when he wants to, and that's when you snap the picture. It's your whole job is to follow him around until he looks at you, and then you take his picture. He must have had a hot date or something. He's trying to get the picture so he can get out of there. But it's like, you know what I mean? Why? I do like in the picture the smiley old man who's not grabbing Denzel. But I don't know. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of, actually, ironically enough, in France, when that little kid went up to LeBron and he just said, "Stop."
Oh
then he
yeah,
went
I
and
remember
danced.
that.
Yeah.
Last summer.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
whenever it was, I think it was the Olympics or
The Olympics. Yeah, it was during the Olympics. It kind of reminds me of that. So I don't know. Maybe France has got a personal bubble problem. You know what I mean? Maybe they're bad at boundaries.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. I'm first going to play a throwback moment for you. Do you remember this commercial? I mean, you will remember this commercial. If you don't, well, that's too damn bad. So this classic 2000s commercial from, I don't even know what it is, but tell me if this brings some nostalgia to you?
Today we salute you, Mr. Giant Taco Salad Inventor.
Mr. Giant Taco Salad Inventor.
Ground beef, refried beans, guacamole, cheese, sour cream, and if there's any room left, a few shreds of lettuce.
I don't see no lettuce.
A culinary creation that baffles the human mind. A 12,000 calorie salad. Some may ask, is your taco salad healthy? Of course it is. It's a salad, isn't it?
You can eat that deep fried crunchy bowl.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, conquistador of the calorie. You put the feast in fiesta.
Mr. Giant Taco Salad Inventor.
You don't remember that commercial? Real man, a genius.
I do. I just don't remember the giant taco version, but I remember that guy. There's a couple of them. And as you saw, it's a Bud Light commercial. What's it called? I remember that guy singing while the other guy was explaining something kind of mundane. So I do remember the commercials, but I don't know if I remember the real taco or the taco salad inventor guy. I think that one I just don't remember, but I do remember the commercials. Yeah.
Well, I guess Jose and Allison didn't. Sad.
Never seen that.
I don't drink Bud Light to give a shit.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, Bud Light's fine.
I don't like Bud Light, to be honest with you.
So, let us now do our deep question of the show.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
So, today's question, once and for all, we will settle this debate. Let us settle this debate once and for all. Who is a better boy band? NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? The correct answer is NSYNC. But who wants to actually debate on this?
The correct answer. I'll debate on that. I don't agree with that, actually.
Okay. Give us your statement.
I mean, so first and foremost, like, when you go before, like, think about boy bands before and after Backstreet Boys. And you definitely can, by the way. Before Backstreet Boys, the boy bands were, frankly, super lame. You think of New Kids on the Block, right? Then you got after Backstreet Boys, and that's when you get the people like, I don't know what man's doing, but anyway, you get the people like NSYNC.
Already wrong.
What do you mean I'm already wrong?
NSYNC is better. Duh. That's the answer.
All right, well.
NSYNC has better songs. NSYNC has better dance moves. NSYNC has better albums. The short career kind of helps them. And how many people get genuinely excited when they hear NSYNC is reuniting? Backstreet Boys have done like 8 reunions and nobody cares.
Well, yeah, but that's why, man. Because NSYNC doesn't do reunions.
Because they're legendary too. And the couple of reunions that they did were mega viral. Backstreet Boys has what, 3 songs? Corny has been.
We know why that is. Because one guy from NSYNC happens to be
one of the greats.
Yes, but I don't disagree with that. But that's Justin Timberlake. That's not NSYNC.
Exactly. You could name the NSYNC people off rip. You got Justin Timberlake, Chris Kirkpatrick, J.C. Chastain, Lance Bass, and Joey Fatone. Who the hell's in Backstreet Boys besides
Nick
Carter? That's not famous enough.
You got the
who the hell's exactly?
McLean.
What else? It should be
I just
off the
named 2
rip.
of them.
All 5 are legendary, but it took you too long to pick them up.
I said 2 of them almost instantly. All right. I'm going to continue
Took
what I
you
was
too
saying.
long.
It's fine. I'll let the people decide. My point is, there is no NSYNC if there's no Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys took a corny-ass genre of music and made it actually mainstream popular. That's just a fact.
No, it's the other way around. It's NSYNC.
No, it's not the other way around because NSYNC came afterwards. So it can't be the other way around.
Came first. NSYNC.
Matt, you can just look at the ages.
Boys.
You can tell who came after.
They literally came around the same time.
No, they didn't. Backstreet Boys was created first.
Yes, exactly. That's
I
why
ha-
the Backstreet
Well,
Boys are
NSYNC
fucking
did
50.
it better.
But I'm saying there was
Backstreet
before
Boys
the
walk
Backstreet
so
Boy.
NSYNC can
Backstreet
run.
Boys
So
are
I'll
still
say,
together.
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't-
and you know what? They perform at the Richfield Playhouse. If
No, they're
NSYNC,
I don't
if
think they
NSYNC,
do. That's
See,
not
if
they
true.
got
NSYNC,
that.
if
No,
NSYNC
you're
had a
lying.
tour, announced a tour,
My
stadium
homie,
tour. It's a
they're at
stadium
the.
tour.
They have
I don't know.
a
Not now. Justin
Backstreet
I'm
Timberlake.
saying
Boy
if they
has a
did.
Backstreet Boys has a residency in the Sphere, the
No, they
most
don't.
That's
expensive
true. They
fucking
do. They're in the
arena.
Sphere. Yeah, they are.
Where the fuck is NSYNC at? I'm sorry. I
NSYNC
got
doesn't
fucking
exist
They
Joey.
don't
I got
exist
the
anymore.
no. I got the fat guy at the fucking theater and fucking doing plays.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
what I
at the
got.
moment, NSYNC, the people who are still singing in NSYNC, like Lance Bass and Joey Fatone,
Yeah,
they tour with the New Kids on the Block, like Joey
yeah.
McIntyre, because neither one of them can get the whole group together, so they do like a New Kids in Sync kind of tour, and those are usually at festivals, think Oyster, but a little bit bigger. So no, but that's honestly, I wasn't even going to go there because that's diminishing NSYNC in a way that I don't think is right. NSYNC was obviously very popular, and it launched Justin Timberlake. I'm just saying that prior to the Backstreet Boys, boy bands were really freaking lame, like really lame.
Don't say
Backstreet
New
Boys-
Kids on the Block because I asked my family this question, my girl group chat. I said NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, and they're like, neither. New Kids on the Block.
New
There
Kids on
you
the
go.
Block. This is true. Are some of the that's one of the Donnie Wahlberg is the freaking lead singer of the New Kids on the Block.
They're
Okay,
gonna be so disappointed in
that
you.
they could be as disappointed as they need to be. My point is that the boy band genre, and I'm talking not even just them. Like go all the way back. You got like the freaking like the Partridge Family or whatever. Like all the way back when you had
The
a group
boy
of
bands
dudes.
when it's a Partridge Family of boys and girls.
Well, there were girls, yeah. But my point is like that kind of thing with like that was lame. And then the Backstreet Boys were able to make it more of a mainstream genre. And after that, there was kind of an explosion of people who were trying to do it. NSYNC obviously being one of those people who successfully did it. But it was after. And so that's why, to me, I would go Backstreet Boys simply because sequentially, I think you needed the success of the Backstreet Boys making the genre more of a mainstream genre before you could have like the runaway success, create a superstar like NSYNC did in Justin Timberlake. That's kind of where my head is at with the two.
Well, I disagree. And I
Oh, wait,
still
no.
think I'll tell you one thing. Backstreet Boys since 1993 have sold 130 million records. Right?
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
span of 32 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
In only half of that time, NSYNC sold 70 million records globally.
So less records.
So, yes, but they didn't have how about you hear me first?
Mhm.
But in half that time, for a band that only lasted 5 years, they sold almost half of those millions of records.
Yeah. So they're on par.
Arguably, you could say if they were still around now, they'd probably outsell them. They'd be the ones with the Sphere tour or the stadium tour. And NSYNC has much more of an impact, and you just have to accept
how did you get to if they're on pace
right
with
here.
I understand that you read it. I'm saying if you're on pace, if in half as many years NSYNC had half as many sales, then in the same number of years they would have the same number of sales. So how did you get to, but if they stayed together, they would have ended up pulling ahead. That doesn't really make any sense.
Because you just look at these numbers right here. That shows
you just said them out loud.
They sold. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt's just using Scott Steiner math to
that was some Scott Steiner.
No Scott Steiner math. Which, listen, you dummies who think that
140
Backstreet Boys is
70.
better is wrong. It's NSYNC. They have more of an impact. They have better songs, and I bet you, I am confident.
Do they really
have
though?
this? Yeah.
Do they really
yes,
have
they
better
do.
songs?
They do have better songs.
They're both fine.
You got Bye Bye
songs.
Bye. I'll give you that.
that's a big
After
one.
You
fucking
got
that,
It's Gonna
after
Be
that,
Me,
it's gone.
Tearing Up
Cry
My
Me a
Heart,
River,
a
their
Great
song?
Christmas
Cry Me
album.
River is just Justin Timberlake.
Backstreet
Oh,
Boys
that's
is the
awesome.
equivalent of,
I want it
bullshit.
that way. Same shit as Bye Bye Bye. I want it that way.
You know what
Continue.
one I like? The NSYNC song actually. What's it called? Just
And
the
I
two
see
of
it
us.
right
That's a
here. I
decent
did
song.
ask ChatGPT, so I will say I asked who's more popular, and the way they answered it, if you're looking at overall popularity and longevity, Backstreet Boys
Backstreet
are more
Boys.
popular
Yeah, they've been
globally
around
and
longer.
historically. But in terms of peak U.S. popularity, cultural firepower in the early 2000s, NSYNC arguably shined brighter, albeit briefly. So it helps complete the argument that NSYNC is better.
It sounds like you and ChatGPT just made my argument.
No, how could how can we make your argument? Because it just says right here in two different answers.
You just said walk, not run. There was no running until somebody walked. The entire genre was created by the Backstreet Boys.
No, it
and
wasn't.
NSYNC...
The entire genre was created by
It says
New
cultural
Edition back then.
footprint. Backstreet Boys have had a longer, more consistent career.
Well, right, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, but that's already admitted to that. That's kind of different.
NSYNC can never get to that peak because
because
disbanded.
They not together. I agree with Matt on that. You can't be like, oh, Backstreet Boys went longer, so they're more important. That's not fair to the NSYNC who's not together anymore. That's not. You don't have to be a band a long time to be an important band. I'm not at all basing mine on how long the band's been together. I think it's factually. I mean, think about that Woodstock '99, right? When everybody was raging against the boy bands. That was because boy bands, i.e. the Backstreet Boys, had made that kind of pop music on par with the rock music that had previously dominated the airwaves in the 90s. The Backstreet Boys put that music into the mainstream. And that's all I'm saying. Now, again, as you pointed out, NSYNC, which came after, sequentially, went absolutely bananas with it. So much so that Justin Timberlake became a solo star for being a member of NSYNC. All of them became household names in a way, to different degrees, but they did. But you can't do that until the first part happens, and that was the Backstreet Boys. And the Backstreet Boys since then have continued to be obviously culturally relevant as a throwback, as an ambassador to that kind of music, even though that music has since faded out of view a little bit, only to come back in Korean. But no, I just think that I don't think it's a hard argument to say, oh yeah, NSYNC was better. I'm saying that I just don't personally think that NSYNC can happen the way it happened without Backstreet Boys doing what it did first. And so in terms of impact, you would have to give it to, in my opinion, the Backstreet Boys, because both groups benefited from what the Backstreet Boys managed to do. That's all I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with the impact of NSYNC. Jose called them trash or whatever, and I disagree with that. Right. I like plenty of NSYNC songs. I just don't. I think sequentially, A comes before B.
And by the way, their debut album is only separated 6 months from each other from what I'm reading here. So it didn't make that much of a difference. So first, they were both part of this, all of these 98 Degrees, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC.
But no, the Backstreet Boys were the ones who were leading that push. That's what I'm saying. Like 98 Degrees, Nick Lachey is not the reason we had boy bands throughout the early 2000s. He's not. I'm sorry. He's just not.
Did Backstreet Boys lead?
Well, that's subjective. That's subjective. ChatGPT can't possibly give you an impartial answer.
I can ask him that. Lead.
Backstreet
What's the question?
You can ask.
Hold on. Backstreet Boys was managed by Ray Perlman. Backstreet Boys bounced on them. Ray Perlman started managing and created a new boy band in NSYNC. So realistically,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's sequential. It's literally, for me, it's literally sequential.
So in that point where he created Backstreet Boys, got what he wanted, like learned how to
make that music sell.
Right. Then he created NSYNC together, and then he already knew how to make it.
Ran it to the moon. Right. Yeah. No, that's what I mean. I'm not insulting NSYNC in any way. I'm just saying sequentially A comes before B. The Backstreet Boys were first.
Well,
they created the genre.
It's not about who did it first.
Right. It's just Ryan's trying. Yeah, Ryan's just trying to jerk both parties up.
So regardless, NSYNC is better. Backstreet Boys is not.
Yeah, Ryan's saying like Backstreet Boys did it first, but NSYNC is great. You're just rubbing both cocks. Ryan, just pick one. Just say the Backstreet Boys.
I already picked the Backstreet Boys. There's no NSYNC without the Backstreet Boys.
Not about who did it first. It's about who did it right.
It's about who did it right, right?
NSYNC did it right. So they're better.
Well, there is no NSYNC without Backstreet Boys, which is why.
But does it matter?
Backstreet Boys, rather.
So regardless, though, NSYNC is better.
Okay.
Whoever did it first.
No, but that's a lie. They had the better front man, but they're not the better.
They definitely had the better. I'll say that. Definitely had the better front man. Justin Timberlake.
They don't even have a front man in Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, it's Nick Carter.
Is he the front
I
man?
was
Well, if
go
he,
more Brian, but I mean, you can go with Nick.
I think
there
it's
you
Nick
go.
Carter.
There you go.
Nick is
Who
the more known, but I don't know
He's
if he's
definitely
the
the
front
most
man.
well,
is the
yeah, definitely
lead
most
singer of
popular.
the Backstreet Boys?
Huh?
I'm asking ChatGPT. Who is
Oh.
the lead singer of the Backstreet Boys?
ChatGPT today.
You just Google it.
Because no one uses Google.
It says
anymore.
right here. Great question. Backstreet Boys don't have one official lead singer. There you go. Already helping my argument. Well,
I mean,
anyways,
Yeah,
NSYNC.
but that also if
technically, no boy band has a lead singer, but
Justin Timberlake was smart. He realized that NSYNC sucks balls. He was like, "Let me get the fuck out of here," and that's what he did.
Well, no, he realized he could stop sharing the money.
Yeah, he realized more money
What
for
if
me.
I made a hit song and I just kept all the money? Is what he realized, which is a good realization to have, by the way. I'm not, no insult here. I'm just saying that's
And
what he
look,
realized.
to this day, they're begging that motherfucker to come back, and he's still saying no.
Well, he's got one more DUI before he goes back, I think.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I see what Matt's point is. I genuinely do. I know he's being whatever about it, but I just my logic is the one after the other, one made the other, and therefore the original is the one that should be getting the credit. But you let me know what you think in the comments.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. All right. So there is one person who deserves to get a lot of praise. That's Grant Harting. Sorry. That's Grant Harting. Grant Harting is somebody who you all need to know. He is a licensed pharmacist in 3 states, and he makes his content based on helping us with our medicine in this world. So here's what I'm talking about. Check out the great Grant Harting.
Pharmacist in 3 states, and today I'm going to show you the biggest scam medications that people buy. Z-Quil for sleep, not really a scam because it actually is effective. So what I typically recommend for folks is just the Dollar Tree versions. They're much more cost effective. Colace here you can see supposedly helps soften stools, but it doesn't, and here's the study that proves it does not. The experts in the study recommended this instead, psyllium husk. Plain Mucinex, my goodness, what a racket at $42 a box. This just isn't helpful for breaking up gunk in the lungs. What I recommend instead is a saline nebulizer. If you must, I'd recommend this, the generic liquid. Liquids have something called a demulcent effect. Sudafed PE is complete and total garbanzo beans trash, and the FDA has even said so. They're probably going to pull it off the market. It just doesn't work. What I recommend instead is Sudafed, which is different. You have to ask for this, and buyer beware, there are some issues with blood pressure and prostate issues that you need to talk to a doctor or pharmacist about.
How do we like our first lesson from there?
That was good. Yeah, that was good. I'd heard a few of those things before, but I know a lot of people who wouldn't have, so I'm glad that someone is talking about it online.
See? And let's get some more Grant info. Here's cold products to avoid.
I'm a licensed pharmacist in 3 states, and today I'm going to show you the worst medications to treat a cold. First on the chopping block, we have Theraflu. Yes, I'm sorry, it even has flu in the name, but it unfortunately really isn't helpful. All that is Tylenol, acetaminophen, guaifenesin, which does absolutely nothing, and dextromethorphan for cough. Now, how is that going to help a cold? Here we have NyQuil, everybody's also favorite, great packaging. Again, acetaminophen, dextromethorphan, doxylamine, and phenylephrine literally does nothing. And look how many different variations there are. My goodness, this is almost comical. It's like I'm looking at a dystopian pharmacist nightmare. Just kidding, this is real life. This one's the worst. I actually bought this today, Oscillum or whatever. This also is junk. Sudafed PE is different from Sudafed. Sudafed is good. So what do I recommend? Right here, baby. Pure uncut zinc. I'll explain in another video. I'm a licensed pharmacist.
Yeah!
Uncut zinc to treat?
That kills me.
To treat it or like to avoid a cold by taking it every day?
This is to
I kind of want to know the
cold.
second
This is
video.
to treat a cold. What'd you
Kinda
say,
need to see that
Allison?
second video.
His headset was killing me a little
Well,
bit.
yeah.
Exactly. That's how iconic he is. He's awesome, but he's a licensed pharmacist in 3 different states.
3 whole states, yeah.
Funny, yeah.
I wonder which states. Not
Me
that
too.
it matters. I'm just curious.
I don't know. Jose, how do you feel about this dude? Would you trust him with your medicine needs?
Sounds like a loser, and no.
What do you mean loser? He's
I
a
will
licensed
say,
pharmacist in 3 different states.
Dayquil does work for me. Maybe it's just placebo.
Sudafed works for me. That's what I've been taking.
Nah, Sudafed is trash. That's actually.
I love
Sudafed.
Sudafed he said is bad, but Sudafed normal, I think he said was.
Well,
bad.
yeah, no, you have that. You can't just grab that off a shelf. Though,
Yeah.
Sudafed.
Let me ask Jose, when you have a cold, what do you do?
Probably take a Molly and call it a day.
You take a Molly.
There you go. Take a Molly, call it a night.
You're sick and high.
People typically sleep after taking Molly, I've been told. What was I gonna say? But no, yeah, my wife is a toxicologist, so she had to study a lot of this too, which was interesting. But yeah, she knew about the Sudafed. That's how I knew about the Sudafed PE versus Sudafed. She had one of the things that she studied was the differences between the two. But yeah.
Thanks. All right. So the last one, the licensed pharmacist. This is his content for anxiety support.
Interesting.
I'm a licensed pharmacist in 3 states, and today I'll be making the ultimate anxiety concoction. People were asking me for anxiety supports replacement, so I'm gonna see what this does to me. I am very excited to try this out today. The goal here is I want to create a concoction that is really calming and creates a sense of serenity. I don't want to go to sleep. I'm not trying to get zonked out of my nuggets. I don't know. We'll see if I overdid it here or not here soon. But this is what I chose. Well, I think we overdid it. I'm just, I'm feeling very, very tired, honestly. I feel really relaxed. I don't feel much of anything, really. I'm just kind of chilling. I'm a licensed pharmacist.
You want me to trust him?
This is why you go to a licensed psychiatrist if you have.
I'm about to say I take actual medication for that, and I've never gotten swanked like.
See, well, that's the point. That's the point.
No, you're not supposed to end up.
You're not supposed to feel that way.
I'm saying he's showing you what not to do.
Oh yes, no, yes. That definitely don't take as much of whatever he did. Maybe a little bit less of what he did. I don't know.
Now I got something for you guys. Oh man. Last thing, the bonus one. Have you guys ever gone to a gas station and seen those gas station pills? Those pills to help you get off, whether to get a hard on or just feel invincible.
They're male enhancements, yeah.
Yes,
at a gas station?
The rhino pills? You've never seen those?
What are you
Rhino
talking about?
No, they're very, very.
I see them
that's
here at the delis, not back in Wisconsin.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
have
same
those there.
thing.
They have them there.
No, you go to a
Bodegas
trucker
and stuff.
stop in Wisconsin, you're gonna see them. Let's
Those
not
shits
play
don't
the
work.
Midwest nice
Jose,
on us.
of course.
No, I've just never seen them in the Midwest.
You go,
Jose,
you go to a
taken
Flying J
Rhino
out in
pills?
Wisconsin, I promise you they're there.
Jose, you've taken Rhino pills?
I've never taken Rhino
Some
pills.
shits are trash. I just wanted to try to see how
I
it
heard
works.
they're bad, yeah.
Well, let's
Yeah, they're crap.
let's see him try it as a
They
licensed
sound like
pharmacist.
Oh God, I don't know if I want to see him try it.
Here we go.
In 3 states, and today I'm going to be trying a weird gas station medication. What in the world is this? I don't like this already. What even is this? Maximum time. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is what we're doing. I hate this. Okay. Very tan looking color. Well, it's a couple of days later, and none of my friends offered to take it. One of them seemed pretty sketched out from the beginning, and I told him we would just find out together. Then I approached a person at the comedy bar that I have my bi-weekly residency at,
Yeah,
and I
he's a
asked him to
comedian.
take it and let me film it, and he laughed for 45 minutes straight, and then went around the entire bar and told everyone that I had just asked him to take a rhino pill and let him film it. I followed up with him the next day, and he said he was still thinking about it. I'm a licensed pharmacist.
Yeah, go Grant.
That one feels like that was a bit of a skit, I think.
No, how is it a skit? He showed you the thing.
What do you mean you showed me the thing?
He showed you the pill.
No, I know the
But
pill
no
was
one
real.
took it.
I just don't believe he didn't know what that was when he picked it up. I think he knew what that was
He's
because
a
he wanted to
licensed
ask all his friends to take it. I know he's a
Exactly, that's the
licensed
point.
pharmacist.
That's the
He
point.
was trying to make his friends see if anybody would take the bait or whatever.
He's
I think
smarter.
that
He's
was the
smart
skit.
enough to not take it.
Well, yeah, nobody
You never
should
took
take
it, Matt?
anything.
No, I haven't taken it.
Oh my god.
This or a Prime Zen too. These.
In 3
I
states, and
don't
today
know
I'll
what
be
these
trying
are.
a sketchy gas station pill. It's like I'm living in a nightmare. Every time I go to the store and buy things, there's always these just weird packaging. Prime Zen Platinum 9000. This is relevant. We'll see
Taking
here
this one,
in a
Jose.
moment.
No,
All right, let's
that's
flip
all.
this bad boy over and figure out what's actually in here. I recognize just about all these from different products I've reviewed. Tribulus territris, maca. Those two have been shown to sort of increase male testosterone. And some of the other ones in here, Yuhimbe, I hate Yuhimbe. A lot of this other stuff, I mean, like all supplements, if you want to find an indication for the rest of these, you will. All right, what is this thing called? Prime Zen?
Ooh, he took this one.
Well, the package lied. I have a headache that could kill a moose. I'm a licensed pharmacist in 3...
Go, Grant. That's my
What a
boy.
guy.
That's pretty funny. That one was funny. Well, the package lied. I have a headache that could kill a moose.
All right,
That was very Midwestern. I bet you he's from Wisconsin.
Hey.
Gotta find out. All right, let's.
I'm just saying.
Let's do our last one for the night, and we're gonna do some Morgan J. Let's do some Morgan J content to finish it off, and he's been killing it lately. So let us show off the comedian auto tuner. Here's our first clip.
Bro, my name is Nathan. Let's give it up for Nathan. Where's your girl, bro? And she's with her best friend. Is that a dude? Yeah. Is he gay? No. Bro's getting cheated on. What's your...
Just had to do that quick parody.
I wonder if he's seen that.
He definitely
I'm sure he
to.
has.
So let us now do the real Morgan J.
What's your name, bro?
Why are you avoiding eye contact? I'm right here. Did you come solo dolo?
No. I got like tricked into this.
You know, when you put it like that, it hurts my feelings. So you got tricked into having a fun, goofy time. So she hates this. Is this your friend?
Yeah, I'm kind of part of tricking her.
Yeah, dude. How do you two know one another?
My sister-in-law went to college with her.
Your sister-in-law went to college with her? That's what you just said?
Yeah, I'm panicking a little bit right now. That's like part of the truth.
Your sister-in-law went to college? Bro, you barely know this person. What are you talking about? Bro, just tricked a stranger into coming to my show? What?
What's
like
your name, girl?
It's like the movie Spaceballs. Has anyone seen that movie or no?
Yeah, it's been a while, but I have.
Like, he's when the Luke stand-in and the Darth Vader stand-in are about to fight. He goes, "I am your brother's, your brother's cousin's roommate's best friend or something." He goes, "And what does that make us?" And he goes, "Nothing." That was what that was to me. Sister-in-law's friend's roommate from college.
No, you don't even know her. All right, the next clip. Get ready for it. That's all I'll say. Get ready for it. This. Already did that.
Have a good
Get
time.
ready for this one. Trust me. All right, here we go.
Girl, you're perfect. What's your name, girl?
Allison, this is what I was talking to you about since Tuesday. Pay attention.
I'm gonna have you say something filthy. Do you not want to do this for real?
I really want to.
Okay, all right. She's sending me mixed signals, bro. I don't know, though. Don't worry. What do you work?
I do.
Would you say that you're like your own boss a little bit?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so you can't get fired? Okay, here we go. Hold this. Hold this. This one's filthy. I don't know. Look at her. Okay. All right, so it's gonna be like. This is legal. Don't worry, bro. You good, girl? Oh, she put her hand on my lap. Oh my God. Damn, Taylor.
Damn, Taylor.
Do you want me to read it just to you?
Yes, I do. Shit. Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna help you out. So it's like this. It's gonna be like, feel the beat. It's gonna be like.
He wants this one to be perfect.
Okay, feel the beat. Feel the beat. Okay, Taylor, here we go.
Be a good girl. You can do your worst. Now piss that ass up and make that pussy squirt.
Yes, boys.
Oh my gosh, shit.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Taylor. Hold up, what's your IG? Pop your IG in there real quick. Oh my, I won't say that, okay? She's getting a divorce. You just told me that. That's crazy. Okay, all right, that's what's up. She really giving me a lot of information, okay? Wait, put your IG in there. Hold up, we ain't done with this shit yet. Guys, give me a second. I'm getting some work done here. Oh shit.
Yo.
She was definitely down.
What do you think happened that night?
I think they probably hooked up, Matthew.
Jose said,
I thought he said smash.
Yeah, smash.
Definitely smash.
I thought you said, Man, imagine when I was looking at those kids watching that at like 2 in the morning in the dark in your bed. I'm kidding.
Huh?
But the last one right now. But yeah, that was as hot as heavy as it gets.
That was I've never seen anyone get quite that into it as she did. To be honest with you,
Damn.
It's flirting a little bit is different than that. That was seduction.
Yeah, that was just straight. We're chilling after this show.
Yeah.
Jeez, I wonder what Taylor does. I wonder.
She's her own boss, so could be anything.
Allison, what do you think happened?
We all know what happened.
Oh, Morgan J. I can only imagine what your life is like on the road. All right. Let's do the last one. This is actually a famous collaboration. Do you see who this is right here?
Wait.
Where's that?
I know that person.
That is a skinnier Meghan Trainor.
No way. All
Meghan
right.
Trainor?
That's
Meghan
Meghan Trainor.
Trainor.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it
Yeah.
is.
What do you think about that, Jose? Nice hard work at the gym and all of that.
Yeah, fuck her. But I mean, hope they all go blind. So.
No, she said she went on Ozempic. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. They said they're talking about Ozempic. You go. There's found studies that says you can go blind.
I mean, maybe. Well, I have no idea, but
Oh, she can see for now. So, but that's
Exactly.
her new. That's her new
She can
Ozempic.
see for
Look,
now.
You can see for now.
So
She'll say, well, hopefully she can see me in 20 years, giving her another finger. So
I'm around long enough for them to know what's going to happen in 20 years. That's kind of the problem. But
here we go.
I know, yeah, and then you know from Spy Kids, I show some love.
That's her husband in real life.
I know that. Yeah.
That's your man.
That's my man. That's
your man. Oh shit. I'll tell you what, Megan, you're gonna do one, and then you're gonna do one. All right, let me sit over here.
June, his name is June, right? June Cortez?
Yeah.
In the movie, yeah. I don't know what his real name is. But...
I don't know why I'm telling her that she knows how to do it. She got rhythm.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Megan, here we go.
You make me weak in the knees. You're sexy as hell. Let me eat that booty after you eat that Taco Bell, babe.
No, let's do this one. Okay. Is that okay? It's gonna be like.
He's gonna have some rhythm. He's
Like you
married to Megan Trainor,
right? Here we go. It's your time.
Hey girl, come and sit on daddy's lap. That coochie tighter than a Chinese finger trap.
Give it up for the lovely.
Right?
That's a big stadium. That's probably bigger than the All-American Rejects could do.
Oh my god.
At this point,
Not a stadium, but yeah. Whatever.
All
building
right,
that
truly, the last thing we have to do, we have to fulfill the dare. Play a quick game is game really quick. So I got this one. How to mess with her ego.
All righty.
So Jose, here we go. All right, last one. Here we go.
Ego. Guys, whenever you go out to eat with a bitch, you need to learn how to flirt with your waitress. Ask her where she's from. Tell her you only asking her this because she has a very unique accent. Ask her is that her real hair color. This will fuck with your bitch. Another thing you can do is, whenever you're around your bitch and her friends, always laugh at her friend jokes. Whenever your bitch try to be funny, straighten your fucking face up. Another thing you can do is, whenever your bitch done getting dressed for a date, look her dead in the face and ask, well damn, is there any makeup left? And then say you just fucking around. Just to fuck with that bitch. Another thing you can do is compliment bitches who are 50 pounds heavier or 50 pounds lighter than what she is. It'll make her feel like she either got too much body or not enough. Another thing you can do is, whenever you see your bitch naked, I want you to look this bitch up and down, and I want you to act like you're trying to stop yourself from laughing. Don't never tell her what it is. Let her figure it out. Game is game.
Is this the right or wrong approach?
So if you want to be single, follow his advice.
Ooh.
I think, and here's my take on this, and we'll check in with Jose after this. But my thing is, I think that actually no, me and Jose, we can collaborate on this. I think that was exceptionally cool. What do you think, Jose?
But you
was
say
really
cool?
Cruel.
Cruel.
Cruel. Not
I was
cool.
about to say, I'm like, Ryan, please don't tell me the.
No. Here's the thing. If you like somebody, and Jose will attest to this, if you like somebody, you shouldn't be trying to make them feel bad. You shouldn't be trying to take their power away from them.
God damn right.
No, hold on.
What?
You'll have a chance, right? But but in all seriousness, I think Jose and I are probably aligned on this. You don't want to take her power away from her. You want to empower your woman. Like, that's your woman. That's your woman. And you, as the man, have to be empowering as she, you can't be making fun of her body or things like that. First of all, you love her body. That's why you're with her. Am I hot or cold, Jose? This is definitely, I think this is about right.
Oh, right. You're definitely on point. I can
Exactly.
totally see.
You are. Why am I on
Totally correct.
Why am I on point, Jose?
Because you should empower them and respect them and give them all the love and attention and not give it to the waitress or any of them girls.
No, because and here's the thing: if you wanted to flirt with the waitress, then you can't be with your current. Like, you know what I mean? You could be with the waitress, or you could be with your current girl. You cannot be with both of them. You're not supposed to do that. It is it's not particularly masculine or manly to be with two women at the same time. Jose, is that correct?
Yes, you're so correct,
All right.
Manny.
And so to me, I would say the game is game from Jose and I collectively that you should really, it's one thing when you say the things that you say, use the terminology, and Jose doesn't like the terminology, do you, Jose? When you say
No.
bitches and things like that, right? So I know
No,
that
no.
bothers Jose a lot, but whatever, things happen. Of course, people talk differently from different places, right? But the message here of you needing to take power away from her to make her feel bad, to make yourself feel good, that's just truly, I would say that's the mark of a small man. Game is game, and you're not a small man. Jose, is he a small man?
No, he's not.
But he's acting
He's
like
not.
one, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
And so that's why I think my advice to everyone listening, and to Game is Game, if he's listening, is to be more confident in yourself. When you make women feel bad, to try and make yourself feel confident, you're affecting them, but you're affecting you too. You're admitting that I'm small and weak. And you're not small and weak. You could be big and strong too. You just got to be yourself. You got to be open to learning new things. You got to be open to helping other people as best you can and just living life the best way that you know how. And that doesn't, or shouldn't anyway, include making other people's lives less than to make yours feel more. You should bring everybody up with you. You shouldn't have to bring other people down so you feel higher. Right, Jose?
Right.
Any final
Totally
thoughts?
agree. You pretty nailed it to the head.
What would you tell the young kids? Because you're a little bit older than I am as well. And you're still in the dating pool, whereas I'm married. So what would you tell the young kids?
I think you should. I can't do it. I think you should just be honest with your girl and stick to one woman,
right?
And don't look the other way.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. Game is game from Jose.
Game is game. Yeah.
I think we should do one more.
Oh no.
I'll say this. Jose said, I think Jose fulfilled his game is game.
He did.
But they said nothing about Patrice O'Neal. So let's debate on this one instead.
That's true. We did not. He did his game is game.
Paramount. I think that it trickles if it is paramount. I think that if it trickles down for me, it's better. For me. The only thing you have to do to want to have happiness is accept loss. Is accept that you may lose. She may walk away and not. That's the only way. All you have to do is fight rejection and fight walking away. And then once you're able to face that, then you find a good one that's gonna listen. Because most of the time, you see girls, even in this show, man, there's some girls that don't got no man. They want a man bad. They don't know how to keep one. They're tired of losing them. They're tired of getting one because they know how to get them. Getting a man is fucking easy. Like getting a woman is our job. Getting a woman is hard for us. Getting her is hard. Now keeping her is not hard. But getting a man is easy for a woman. But keeping a man is hard because they think their keeping skills aren't sharp. My happiness is
Y'all agree or disagree with that?
I'll be honest, it wasn't horrible until the very, very end. It was, again, I think that I have some thoughts that probably diverge with Patrice O'Neal, but the very end is where I was like, okay, we've fallen off the rails a tiny bit for me. But Allison looked like you were about to do a full repudiation, so I kind of want to hear that before we get to Jose.
I just couldn't, I don't know. I think I'm losing brain cells on this type of stuff.
Let me ask you.
Does everybody disagree with them?
Again, I think my disagreements come a lot as game and game. Although that was, by the way, Matt, an absolutely appalling game is game. Thank you for choosing that one for the thing. But you still can't say anything bad about game is game. I've added that clause just now. Anyway, no, I think that
he already fulfilled it. We could do game is game again.
Yeah, the next one I'm saying, but that clip. Everything Jose said about that clip is locked in until next time. Anyway, but no, I think with this, it's more how he said it. I was like, I don't really like how he was saying it. But I do think he's onto something with the idea that for a lot, and on the women's side, I think it is true. A woman who wants to leave a bar with a guy can do that fairly easily. Now, is it the best guy you could possibly find? No, not always. But I do think that most guys are frankly down to fool around, and a woman can kind of just basically ask, and
But
they'll
what
be like,
does
yeah.
that have to say about men?
Well, right. And I think he, in fairness, is correct in the way that says that about men. He's saying for men to find a girl, for a guy to get a girl interested is very hard. But then, you know, they just do whatever they want after they have a girl, and the girl is almost always the one who tries to keep it working. Like, it's literally, I think he was saying it in a positive way, which is what I disagree with, but I think he was actually nailing the dynamics here. That while it's easy for like a woman to find a guy, a lot of times after that happens, the woman has to put in all of the work to try and keep a guy who's probably not even being faithful. Whereas a guy who's looking is going to strike out most of the time. But then because of the way that, like, you know, because that women oftentimes try harder in the relationship, they can just kind of mess around once they find somebody and not worry about losing them until like they finally mess up so bad, and it, you know, turns to a whole thing, and then they'd be like, she was just crazy, or whatever, I messed up, and then they move on to the next, you know, next thing. So I think what he's observed about men and women in dating right now is correct. He seemed to make it sound like a positive, which I don't know that I agree with that specific. I don't agree with the framing of it, but I do think the observations have some merit if you look at how people currently date, like today especially.
All right, we'll do a new game to fill it out since Jose filled his punishment.
When are we gonna go with my point of view in this?
No, I want to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Matt just wants to have you say something opposite. Just say that you're going to get it here, Matt. He's going to say something wild for Patricio.
I understand but what he's saying is is straight facts. It's harder for guys to get with a girl, but once we get with them, it's the girl's job to keep us, because
I mean,
at the end of the day, do we not wander? Yes. Okay. So we worked our ass off to get to you. We finally get to you. What are you gonna put work in? So them girls need to put work in.
You're saying in a relationship, only the woman needs to put work in.
I'm saying my job is to hit a certain standard where you will be open for me to come, because I'm coming to you, correct? To be be an option, I have to be a certain way that you like, yes or no? So I have to work for that. Cool.
Yeah,
we are
that's true.
together. So I'm at this spot where I already worked to get to where I need to be for you to look at me a certain way. What are you doing to maintain that for me? If you're not going to put the work in, guess what happens? I'm going to start lacking and not giving a crap. So I'm going to start moving on out.
But see, this is where it gets, I don't want to say tricky, because I don't think it's tricky at all, but this is where like the system of like the thought system gets all wonky to me, because you're saying I have to make myself a certain way to get somebody. I don't know Allison's type, right? That's like, we'll start there. But I do know in a club or a bar in New York, if I was single and I approached Allison, I can promise you it would not be any different than if I approached my wife and we weren't together. Because you can't go in and be like, I'm going to make myself right for this person, and then it's their job to keep me interested. You just got to be who you're supposed. You just be yourself, and if the person across from you, if the person across from you doesn't vibe with that, then you go to you go to the next person.
Right.
Like you don't need this person in front of you ever. You never need that person.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you were friends with your wife, you can tell me right now, you didn't try a little harder?
When I was
Are you honestly,
with her?
when you were interested in your wife before you were together, you're trying to tell me you didn't try a little harder?
No, our relationship was exactly the same until we started dating.
I'm saying, did you try a little harder with her, in the sense that obviously she was a friend? Did you give her a little more attention than the rest of your friends? No. Or when two friends were going at it, I mean, both friends would come and needed you at the same time, who would you go to? You wouldn't go to her?
I would have to go. somebody needed me
Come
more. That's
on.
who I would go
Oh,
with. No,
come
I'm not
on,
lying to you. I
Ryan.
don't know what to tell you.
Come on, Ryan.
No,
Ryan. The
no.
point
Hold on.
is, the
Hold
point
on.
is, the point is the way you look at
But
the
no,
way
because the point is that you're trying to make, unfortunately, and again, this might just be a me thing specifically, but it doesn't work because I met her in literally my first day at college. So I knew her longer than anybody else there. I didn't date her. I didn't date her at all until we were juniors in college.
Let me
So
ask you.
you're ignoring 2 years of her being a friend of mine. That's what I mean. Like, it's different. You can't be like, oh, well, once you're interested. Like, no.
Ryan, you want to
from
know
the moment
how
I met her and became friends to the moment we started dating, she was just one of my best friends. And there was no difference between that or, like, Matt, as an example. She was just, again, one of my best friends, and that was that.
So right now you're trying to tell me if Matt needed you and your wife needed you, you would go. If Matt needed you more,
my
okay.
wife is married
But
to me.
see, here's the problem with your theory. Your theory is you're friends with her. Even though you stuck as friends with her.
Yeah, I was friends with her.
Even though she was dating probably other people while you guys were friends with her, you still stuck there, and you were interested.
I dated other
yes
people
or no?
too.
But were you not interested? You were never interested in your wife.
Not until we started dating.
I don't think this is like even the right take. I don't even.
The take is so here's my take. For a guy,
got her and did what he did to keep her, and it was a give and take.
Exactly. But see, he tried to give her, like, he went on another level. He wasn't just him. He was interested. Eventually, there was a point where he was interested in his wife.
It was around the time we started dating. We were both interested in each other, so we decided to start dating.
Listen, you're not going to date her if you're not interested. You had to be interested before you date. You're not just going to, hey, get on this pony and just go and let's see where it goes. You obviously had to have some type of interest before you start dating. You're not just going to give a random fat girl or whatever or any ugly girl.
She's fat.
My point is, there's some type. It doesn't matter. The point, I'm just using an example. At the point there was some type of interest to give it a go, to give this a chance to see where it goes. There has to be, if it's emotional, physical, a mental connection, whatever. There was something there.
That didn't change how I acted.
For you,
that was what I'm saying.
Here's the problem. For you, because you don't see it. But there was effort into it because to build upon it, you needed to put effort in it. It's what I'm saying.
No, I don't agree with you. I'm telling you, you're
because
wrong.
You're the guy on the outside, Ryan. You're the guy looking. You're in the inside. Of course, you're not gonna see it. You liked her. Of course, you're gonna. That's what
she liked me too. That was the whole point. That's
but you're building upon something. You're giving her more attention. Blah blah blah.
We were building upon 3 years of being friends.
Right.
Which I'm not advocating everybody find someone for 3 years as friends and then try and date them. I'm not saying that that's the best way about it. I'm just saying that I didn't change anything, nor did she. We were just completely ourselves, and then we ended up falling for each other and gave it a shot, and now we're married. That's all I'm saying.
Ryan, you just said it. You gave 3 years of friendship to a girl.
But it wasn't because I liked her.
He didn't give the 3 years of friendship with the idea in the back of his mind, like, oh, if I'm friends
with her. Guys, okay, let me ask you a question. Let me get friends with her. Okay, cool. Yes. I'll knock it out right now. So get in this discussion. You tell me right now, when you first met her, friend or not, you were never attracted to her at all.
No.
Not once.
She was dating somebody. That's not how that went. I was not thinking about that.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you.
At no point.
She was, there was never a point you were like, she's beautiful.
Well, she was single. Obviously,
okay, so
she's
there we
attractive.
go. So there's the answer. That's
how is that the answer?
Because you had a physical attraction with her, Ryan.
Well, yeah, you have to have a physical attraction with your partner.
Ryan, that's
how are you going to have an intimacy without physical attraction?
Listen to me, Ryan. This is where you get the misconnection. You had a freaking physical connection with her. You were attracted to her. Do you think you would be attracted to a person? Would you be friends with a girl? 3 years. What the hell? 3 years friendship with a girl that you weren't physically attracted to? No, because in your mind you're gonna be like, well, it runs its course. It runs its course. You wouldn't try to keep that friendship.
No, that's
but you
incorrect.
did with her.
I'm telling you, that's incorrect. I have other friends.
Wait, well, how does that work
Are you
in a
serious?
situation?
I have other friends from
So
this
how does
time
that
period.
work in a situation like Matt and I? I'm friends with Matt, and I
Right.
You just here's the okay. Let's be honest. Okay, we'll use it. Brian, I might blow up your spot, but I apologize. Here's the problem. Look at this. You guys are friends, but if you guys drift apart, that's it. He's not gonna try. He's gonna do his own thing, and you're gonna do your own thing. He purposely 3 years stuck as a friend. It's because there is attraction on it. Period. Done. He might not realize it. He might not. Whatever.
No,
We
I
are
disagree,
guys.
though.
Listen, we are guys.
No,
we stick to what we know.
I disagree.
We're not. I'm telling you, Ryan.
Matt,
you're physically. Ryan, Matt will even tell you.
Yes, you can go back to your rant in a second, Matt. Have there been times we've known each other since we were freaking 5? Have there not been times over all of that time where you were heated about something that I said or did, or I was heated about something you said or did, and at no point in time was I attracted to you, but also at no point in time did I say, well, whatever, fuck him, well, I'm done. And maybe that's just me. I don't do that. If I'm friends with you, if you've shown yourself to be a good person to me, and I've decided that means I'm a friend to you, that doesn't disappear over one thing. There's no drifting apart. That's not how that works. And like I said, to answer your question, obviously now she's my wife. It's a little different. But if Matt had called me when I was in college and said, Ryan, I need help. Something's wrong. And Melissa had been, again, we're not dating, just been like, hey, let's go to do whatever. And I can say this as a fact, maybe not always with Matt, but as a fact, this happened. I would say, I'm sorry, I can't. I've got to help my friend. That is never once in a million years have I taken a friendship for something other than actual friendship. That's not how I do it anyway. And the gender of the friend involved is not relevant to me. I don't let friends drift away. Again, some of them do, and I usually try hard not to have that happen. When it happens, it's it's unfortunate and it's sad, and then I have to move on.
Repeat that again. You try hard, right?
For all of I have a friend who is a groomsman of mine who bailed out of my wedding, and I still tried to talk to him for 4 months after that. So I wasn't attracted to him. I just gotten married. It was just he was a friend of mine and a friend of mine for a long time, and I don't let something like that just fade away and disappear. That's not how I do it. So to answer your question, Jose, you saying, oh, but Ryan would not, all these other friends let him fade away, but not her. No, I wouldn't let any of them fade away. I never have let any of them fade away. Anyone who's not my friend anymore is not because I stopped being friends with them. And that's true of my entire life.
So let me ask you a question. If you were friends with your wife was dating other people, why did you stay friends with her?
Because I was a friend to her and she was a friend to me. We liked hanging out with each other. We liked talking to one another. We would go to classes together.
Awesome, but she was dating someone else.
Yes, and I was too, multiple times throughout this period.
Okay, so why did you stick friends with her?
Because I was friends with her. What do you mean? That's like saying, why were you friends with Matt while you were dating somebody? Because I was friends with him.
No. You know the opposite sex is different in the game. But you and Matt were friends who were 5 years old. It is.
No, that's the point. It doesn't need to be.
You can't do the same fucking thing with a girl that you do with a guy.
I literally did.
Oh, Jesus.
I literally did. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You're saying something you're saying something as if it's true when I've literally done the thing you're saying is impossible. I don't know how else to say it. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I have other friends who are female. I am not attracted to them, but I am good friends with them. Why? Because they're my friend. I got to know them. I like who they are. I like talking with them. I like spending time with them. This is not a hard concept. People you like, you keep them around. People you don't like, you don't keep them around. You say, well, that was an interesting experience, but I'm moving on. This is not hard, and it's also not gendered. I'm sorry, it's not. And if it is, and it seems that most people would say it is, that's an indictment on the people in the system who are making it gendered. That is not the way it ought to be. That's not the law of nature. That is people deciding to make it that way.
God bless you, Ryan.
I guess.
I think everybody had a great time today. Great work, everyone. Trust me, there was definitely more I had, but I just ran out of time this time. But who knows? Very soon, we will all debate some good stuff again and have a productive conversation amongst it. Great work, Allison, Ryan, and Jose. Be back on Tuesday. Have a great and safe Memorial Day weekend. Remember what the weekend is set up for, and enjoy yourself. The summer has officially kicked off.
Yeah.
Peace.
Later.